It's your girl Tisha. You're listening to PRECIOUZEYEZREALEYEZ, and I'm back with the soul contract, the 16-year moment of truth, the chaos and the architecture. For a long time, I've been dropping pieces of the story, scattered fragments, unorganized thoughts, moments that felt entirely chaotic while I was living through them. But there's a massive difference between living in the chaos and standing back to look at the architecture. When you finally compile the report, when you look at the raw data, the chaos completely evaporates and you are left with divine mathematics. We often talk about soulmates, karma, and spiritual connections like they are just deep feelings or romantic poetry. But what happens when the universe doesn't just give you a feeling? What happens when it gives you proof? What happens when you're left with 16 years of concrete clues, literal math, and screenshots that validate an energetic bond so heavy it transcends the physical world? Today, we are talking about the moment of truth. We're talking about the transition from a karmic connection to a twin flame reality, and the heavy fated mission of becoming a generational lineage breaker. For 16 years, the breadcrumbs were being dropped, but the truth about an intense high vibrational soul contract that the human ego usually cannot handle, the sheer magnitude of it in real time. If you knew the full scope of the contract on day one, it would crush you. So the universe locks the data download away, releasing it piece by piece, clue by clue. During this 16 years, you might feel like you're tripping over abnormalities. You notice the weird synchronicities, the recurring timelines, the numbers like 888 flashing constantly, the 888 representing infinite energy, balance, and the closing of massive karmic cycles. You take the screenshots, you log the dates. You don't fully understand why you're saving them at the time. You think it's just a turbulent, magnetic, chaotic relationships. You think it's just a karmic tie you are forced to endure. And then, the physical paradigm shifts. One of the souls pass on. When a soul connection of this magnitude leaves the physical earth, the connection doesn't stop. It actually untethers from human limitation. Shortly after transitioned, a profound validation occurred. My parents saw them clear as day in what can only be described as a soul review room, purgatory, the cosmic courtroom. Whatever framework you use, it was the place where a soul sits down to evaluate their earthly contract, look at the ledger of their life, and review the evolutionary lessons. That moment was the first major alarm going off, proving that this connection wasn't just a casual chapter in a lifetime of cosmic governance. You see, I lost many people before, but they didn't pop up like that. This path, a lot of people that I knew passed away. People I was attracted to, I had some type of history with, So, but this was different. The thing is that I didn't even think this was a soulmate or anything. Oh my God. But after the vision, the physical world went quiet. For 2 years, there was a grieving and standing in the empty space left behind. Then exactly 2 years later, the floodgates opened. The 2-year shift, the mirror matrix 2 years later, the psychic reminders began, and they just didn't trickle in. They completely mirrored everything in my environment. This is where the math starts matching the magic. When a twin flame is on the other side, they no longer have human ego, pride, or physical distance blocking them. They operate as a non-physical guide, and their job is to trigger your ultimate spiritual awakening. Suddenly, everything in your physical reality begins to mirror the energetic bond. You start receiving psychic revelations about things you didn't pay attention to before, or things you could not have possibly known until you reached this exact moment of readiness. You look back at the 16 years of documentation, you look at the math, you look at the screenshots, and suddenly the keys turn into locks. The pieces aren't unorganized anymore. They form a perfect geometric grid of your life. The verdict, why, is to the twin flame journey. Let's look at the difference. A karmic soulmate comes into your life to balance a personal debt. It is a one-on-one lesson. It causes friction, it repeats loops, and once the debt is paid, the energy usually dissolves. But a twin flame journey, especially one that continues with absolute precision after one person has passed, is not about personal debt. It is a collective assignment. If you look at the absolute mirroring, the psychic influx, the divine timing, and the sheer scale of the revelation, it points to one undeniable truth. You incarnated together to break ancestral ties on both sides of your families. Think about the weight of that. You didn't just come here to experience a human relationship. You volunteered to enter a spiritual contract that would act as a genetic and spiritual wrecking ball. You came to absorb, confront, and permanently shatter generations of trauma, heavy karma, and environmental stress that had been knocking and locking both your lineage matrices. So, like matriarchs, matrimonial, in place for centuries. The Matri clan, standing in the truth. Conclusion. To anyone looking at their own lives, staring at the screenshots, tracking the numbers, and feeling like the weight of the universe is pressing down on them, you are not crazy. You are just reading the data. The moment of truth only arrives when you are strong enough to carry the revelation. When you realize the bond is completely real, that the energetic connection is unbroken by death, and that you are the one chosen to stand on the side of the veil and finish the work. The math is exact, the contract is signed, and the lineages are being set free. One could mistake you for a star. That is exactly what you are. Better to consider all of the good things. A glimpse of the mirror to make sure you are still there.